Hello guys, today is April 2024 and we're gonna talk about harm of cell phones and ways to minimize it by selfcurepal, composed by selfcurepal. So harm from cell phones and ways to minimize it. All devices that using Wi-Fi or cellular connection signal emit EMF, means electromagnetic field radiation, EMF, and RF, radio frequency. RF mostly coming from batteries emission of extreme low frequency radiation. So I won't repeat what does it mean. EMF, it's electromagnetic field radiation, EMF, and RF is radio frequency radiation, low frequency radiation, okay? RF, EMF. So parts of human body with vital organs, let's say like brain, heart, liver, etc., are located in the head and torso. So those parts of our body are more vulnerable to EMF and RF emission, let's say, unlike extremities, hands and legs. Scientific studies and experiments on animals conducted even years before 5G, 5th generation Wi-Fi and cellular connection, which is much more powerful and extremely intrusive with all those satellites, towers and antennas all over us, polluting our planet and space as well. So results of those studies showed that exposure to EMF and RF radiation at levels similar to emission from cell phones caused greater chances of developing brain and heart cancers. Okay, now you can see extremities, celebrities, let's say, most of them don't have much of education, but talented, and they listen to their advisors. They keep a phone like this on speaker, distance and time. Remember, distance, the bigger distance the better. The brief shorter conversation, the better to make it brief, short, and keep distance. That's kind of, let's imagine it's a phone. And extensive those EMF RF radiation causing extensive damage to DNA, so-called fragmentation, which in turn cause mutations. Age 21 years old is when kids and teenagers finishing physical development, okay? And before 21 years, kids and teenagers, due to their anatomy, the younger, the more devastating effect on them, let's say, they're getting more damage. Brain and heart of those kids and teenagers still developing, so bones and skull are thinner, and as a result they absorb 2-3 times more of radiation than adults do. So think about the kids too. Sources of EMF and RF radiation are different and depend on strength of the signal, type of device, its technical characteristics. Some of them, let's say smartphones, of course, cell phones, remote controls, computers, Bluetooth devices, microwaves. House, it's probably number one, microwave. If you stand on using telephones, cell phones more often, but the extensity of microwaves, it's something. the damage. So house energy, smart meters, power lines, especially high voltage power lines. When I was teenagers and we were walked to the fields with crops, and the carrots under the power line were growing this size, okay? So long and so thick instead of normal size. That's a carrot, and it's pretty the same kind of radiation getting. We're not in that, of course, not in that amount at the time, but still little by little it accumulates and doing pretty the same effects, mutations including, and brain cancer in people, especially taken to the head, forms, heart cancers, and etc. Few more electrical blankets, hair dryers, routers, of course, and practically all, not practically, but all wireless devices. So due to increasing of the sophistication of cell phones, increases EMF and RF radiation emission. A lot of parents let their kids use or own cell phones, and we have yet to see the results from prolonged EMF and RF radiation exposure over the child's entire lifetime, okay? So it's extremely important to limit cell phone radiation exposure to you and your entire family, especially kids and pregnant. It's something to consider in order to limit harmful side effects that may occur later in your child's life as the cell phone generation grows up. Headaches, skin rashes, infertility may appear in a really short period after starting using a cell phone for prolonged periods of time. Reducing your phone usage and functions seems like a lot to ask, but you can start from short periods of turning it off or putting it away and gradually extending that time. It's definitely worth it in the long run if you want to live a long, happy and healthy life for yourself and your kids. Take a proactive steps to protect yourself and your loved ones from harmful EMF and RF radiation. You may enjoy powering down and enjoying the non-digital aspects of life. Now let's talk about ways to protect yourself from that kind of radiation. Increase distance. Remember, time and distance are the crucial. So decrease time, make it short, and increase distance. Better 12 inches from head, eyes, brain, fell, better at least 12 and up to 3-4 feet. Try don't even keep it in your hands, just put on desk, talk. Okay. Increase distance. Decrease time, as I said, of usage. Use a phone for communication only. Turn off Wi-Fi and cellular data. You still will be able to receive and make phone calls and text messages, send and receive it, but your phone won't be searching for those towers and Wi-Fi all over you and attracting radiation. Put data back on for a short period of time, like a search, you have to find something, GPS directions, and etc. Do not keep phone in a pocket. Instead, put it in a bag or purse. Kids in a backpack, of course. Keep it in airplane mode as often as possible, especially at night, overnight. No radiation then practically at all. Not emitted, you're not getting, not transmitting. So, and in the morning you won't lose any messages. They're gonna pop up when you put the phone on in normal mode, and it's gonna ding, 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 ding on so-called delay, not losing messages. Turn off Wi-Fi as often as possible, especially overnight. You have a dog and you have a ring, so overnight there is no point to keep your cameras on. If you have a dog, you can hear somebody like 200 meters away, so it's safe and you're not getting radiation from Wi-Fi. Turn off Wi-Fi as often as possible. When you are traveling, yes, just put it on, etc. So keep router as far as possible from bedroom and kids' room. No phones or computer in a bedroom. Use a speaker or video call. Keep distance from head minimum, as I mentioned, 12 inches, better 3-4 feet. The more the better. Try not to hold a phone when making or receiving calls, because during receiving phone call or making phone call, the radiation level spikes enormously, okay? At this moment and time, the most of radiation emission occurs. When bad reception or on the move, let's say you're moving in the car, train, etc., jump of radiation occurs enormously as well, because the phone trying to catch up all those antennas, satellites during, and it's moving, we're losing, catching again, and it's exploding with radiation like 10 times more. Invest in, when you're moving, by the way, it's better to use a cable and use, if you have to use a GPS, let's say, use it in a car mode, okay? Invest in EMF and RF protective gear, as protective sleeves or shielded anti-radiation cases, phone cases, I mean, screens for the computers, etc., wired headphones, etc. Turn your phone off at night completely. Reduce direct skin contact with the phone. Try to not even touch it. Use car speakers, as I mentioned. Text instead of calling. There is less radiation when you're texting, but not when you're driving, of course. Buy a landline for longer conversations. So landline to talk with older parents, grandparents, etc. Keep social, do business. Landline, it's really cheap, $10 a month, and you're saving tons of health. Get phones, telephones, laptops off kids' hands and laps. Put on table instead, okay? When they're talking, keep distance and keep it on the table, desk, etc. Even a few inches makes a huge distance. Few more inches, huge difference, okay? As I mentioned, 12 minimum, 3-4 feet better. From your head, a big difference. Minimize use. Call it when it's just really necessary. Minimize it. Do not let kids sleep with or next to any of phones, tablets, routers, etc. Teach your kids to carry their phone in a backpack or purse, not in a pocket. Use EMF, RF protective phone cases and phone sleeves or similar gear, anti-radiation, okay? They are usually protected from one side and receiving from other one. The ones that touching your body, let's say in a pocket or something, it's protected with a few layers of anti-radiation, at least some protection. Especially when kids are on a call, phone emits higher radiation. When you're receiving call or making call, it's transmitting a call or data, there is much more radiation than in quiet mode. Even when you're not making a call, your phone is emitting constant radiation to connect to the nearest antenna, tower, satellite, etc. Okay, so keep it as far as possible. And as I mentioned, any part of your body holding the phone or got stuck next to it is getting the heaviest dose of exposure to the radiation. Keep it out of your hands anytime you can, okay? As I said, 12 inches, 3/4 bottom, from your head, face, eyes, etc. Okay, a little bit about myself. I'm a holistic medicine specialist. Some people even agree with that. Okay, and for speeches, seminars, personal appearances, group, family, personal consultation, you can call me 845-709-4501 or shoot me a message on selfcurepal, gmail.com. YouTube videos, you know, it's free. So there are over 20 of them now. Hopefully you like it. Put like, subscribe, it's free of charge. Spread the love. Little changes can make a huge difference, okay? Spread the love. YouTube works. Thank you and you're welcome. And a bit of disclosure. Remember, I am not a practicing doctor, despite of having MD degree and experience. I am not prescribing medical treatment nor trying to diagnose. I present all this information simply for educational purpose only. This information is strictly my opinion and based on information currently available. I believe everything to be true and accurate. You and only you are responsible for your health. Take care. God bless.